All right, there we go. So, welcome, welcome. It is the Mind Blowing Happiness Circle, and today is October 30th, 2025. So, we're going to be looking at the month ahead. And November brings so many things with it, right? Because it's the start of the holiday season. There can be a lot of emotions that are related to the holidays. So I just want to welcome you all here. And I think that you should also thank yourself for showing up because so many times we have the intention to do things and we get busy and then we do something else and then later we're stressed out and we wonder why, but it's partly because we didn't make any time for ourselves. So thank you for being here. The organization of this evening, first we will go into our meditation and then our breath work, and then we'll go into some mindset work. I always like to end with tapping because that's one of my favorite things. If you haven't done EFT tapping before, it should be a treat for you. I haven't had anybody try it and tell me that they didn't like it. So we'll see how that goes. If you haven't already, grab like whatever you need to be comfortable. I made sure to put on my squishy sweater before getting on this call because it's getting a little cooler out here. So whatever you need, if it's a sweater or if you need a little drink or um, a blanket, whatever that would feel good for you, make sure you have that. And then I'm dropping a few icebreaker questions in the chat. I will also read them off. And maybe I'll answer them first. Yeah, so you guys can put your answers in the chat. But the first question is, what are you doing tomorrow, whether or not it's Halloween related? The second one word to describe how you're feeling right now. And then the last one, what's one thing that you're thankful for in the month of October? So I'll go first, and you guys can add in the chat if you'd like to. Um, so for me, what am I doing tomorrow? I'm not really doing anything Halloween related. I keep thinking that I should do something, but I don't know. I'm voting and I'm taking the dog to the vet, and maybe I'll buy some candy. We'll see what happens. Um, one word to describe how I'm feeling right now. I feel really peaceful. We're going to the end of the year, and I guess it's a time when we're looking back on what we have or have not done earlier in the year. And I don't know, I always love doing these. My daughter was like, "Why do you do these calls so late?" And I'm like, "Well, I kind of like it." So I just feel peaceful and good creating this space. What's one thing that I'm thankful for in the month of October? I got to travel this month. I got to go to Ghana, West Africa for the second time this past month. So I'm super grateful for that. And, if anybody's seen videos and stuff like that, I spent time in like this really remote village where there was like no plumbing. And that really just, like we know those places exist, but it really, to be in it just really made me more appreciative for everything that I have. So go ahead and chime in there as you see fit.
We're putting this in the chat.
Yep, you can pop it in the chat. Unless you want to talk, I mean, you can talk if you want to. The
Okay.
chat won't show like on the YouTube stream, but if you talk, you'll be on the YouTube stream. So that's up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll go. I'll gladly speak. Tomorrow, I'm not um, doing anything Halloween related. I was in a school today, and it was all already Halloween related. They were already anxious because they were coloring pumpkins, so it really had them going. And tomorrow they have the Halloween party. But anyway, I'm not doing anything Halloween related. I will be waiting on someone coming to do some work at my home tomorrow. So I had to work around that. And I'll be doing my morning walk. The month of April no, April, goodness, the month of October, um, the word for me is gratitude because regardless of what mood I'm in or whatever, and I've had emotions going up and down, but gratitude always brings me right back to being so grateful because I am. And I'm most thankful this month for my health. I
Yeah.
felt good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing
Yeah.
that, Pat.
Thank you.
And if anybody else wants to share,
Well, I'll go.
okay, Fausta.
Uh, I'm grateful to have an opportunity to step into a sister circle such as this, because I know how powerful it can be. I know the level of support it provides just to be able to connect with other spirits such as you, and we totally understand what each is going through, being women of color the way we are. And so I would like to say that I'm grateful for that. I'm also grateful for the fact that there's illness in my family, and it has brought the opportunity to be authentic in conversations with loved ones, even though they might not truly understand the motivation for having the talk, but having it anyway. I'm very, very grateful to have powerful individuals in my life that is supporting me and taking the next step in my life as it relates to who I am and what it is that I'm bringing to the table, what it is that I'm leaving on the table. Um, Taking a look at where I am in my life of, it's just amazing to even wake up, you know, and amazing to be able to say thank you, to say thank you for all the blessings that I can name, but even those that I cannot name. That is what I'm grateful for.
So, are you doing anything tomorrow?
I'm going to go and see my sister tomorrow, and I'm going to go and have a real authentic conversation with my sister tomorrow. So basically that, but you're talking about as far as Halloween?
No, I'm happy that it seems everybody's ignoring Halloween. Like, it doesn't have to be Halloween. I'm just kind of like,
Yeah,
you have little kids, it's different.
yeah.
Um,
Well, you can walk out your door and see Halloween, and they're not little kids either. Yeah.
mhm. All right. So, unless anyone else wants to jump in, we can go ahead and get started. So, bring your palms together and just rub them together. We're going to generate some warmth here. And then take your right hand to your heart, take your left hand to your belly button. And then go ahead, inhale through the nose, let the belly fill. And then exhale with a sigh. And then do that again. Inhale through the nose, let the belly fill. And exhale with a sigh. And then one last time, go ahead, inhale through the nose, let the belly fill. This time, hold the breath at the top for just a beat. And then release it with a sigh. Go ahead and take your left hand to cover the right and just check in with yourself. We've said some words. I've said some words. Maybe you've had a few thoughts about how you're feeling. The month that we're letting go of, the month that we're going into. So just check in with yourself, check in with your breath. See if you can notice the beating of the heart, the rise and fall of the breath. And then I'd like you to set an intention for the month ahead. If you can use one word, that's great. If you need maybe an extra word, one or two words, you just don't want it to be too long because you want to have some focus. right? You don't want to feel scattered. So the words that might come to mind, it could be something like abundance or confidence or self-love, maybe gratitude. We spoke a bit about that. Authenticity, wellness, peace, um, relaxation, success. I know one month the word I was using was mastery because I was really looking to level up some of my skill set. So think of one word that kind of comes to the forefront of your mind that resonates with you for the month ahead. And once you feel like you have that word, go ahead and plant it on your heart. And if you want to share your word in the chat, you can go ahead and type it into the chat. I'll put mine in there. That's my word for November, abundance. And if anyone else wants to drop theirs in the chat, I would go ahead and drop it in there. I see we have gratitude, we have growth. I like it. All right. So we're going to go into some time for meditation. So, however you are seated, whether it's in a chair or on the floor, the most important thing for meditation is that the back is straight. You can't really meditate like this, right? You want to have a straight line from the crown of your head down to the base of the spine. So if you're in a chair, you might want to push your bottom back in the chair a little bit to improve your posture. We can all take a few shoulder rolls and neck rolls. So bring the shoulders up to the ears, bring them back and down. And then let's just do that again. Bring the shoulders up to the ears. Let's bring them forward and down. And then we'll drop the chin to the chest. Let's go right ear over to right shoulder. Bring it back through center. We go left ear over to left shoulder. Come back through center. And then we'll bring our chin back up to a neutral position. Your feet should be flat on the floor if you're in a chair. And you might want to take your shoes off for a little bit of grounding. So if that's available to you, that's a nice option. The palms can be either facing up or facing down. When the palms are facing up, it's considered a more receptive posture. So, like if you're really looking for a divine download, you're looking for some wisdom, some answers to questions, maybe some inspiration, palms up may feel appropriate. Palms down is more grounding. So if you feel like really anxious or stressed or overwhelmed or fearful, palms down can be very soothing. Now, the only rule is that there are no rules, right? So sometimes people will do one palm up and one palm down, and that feels good to them. There's also a whole host of hand postures. It's funny, I have this thing right next to me, this card deck with mudras. So there's so many different hand postures that you can do that mean different things. So if you have another hand posture or mudra that you want to use, like the chin mudra is very popular, you can go ahead and use whatever feels good to you. I'm just going to guide you with my palms down. And then for your eye position, most people will close their eyes during meditation, but you don't have to. So if you feel more comfortable with your eyes open, you can do that. You just want to keep a soft, unfocused gaze. So if your eyes are open, you're just not staring at anything. You're not really looking through them. You have this kind of unfocused gaze, maybe 2 or 3 feet ahead of you. So find what feels good to you. And then I want you to bring your awareness to the crown of your head. So that's your crown chakra. Imagine that area is warm and relaxed. It's considered an area for wisdom. So just relax the crown of the head. And then bring your awareness to the space between your eyebrows. That's considered the third eye chakra. And you might think of that as the center of your intuition. And then come down to the throat. So, right at the center of the throat, let that area be warm and relaxed. That's the throat chakra, where we find our voice, where we speak our truth. And then bring your awareness to the point right at the middle of the chest. So for the ladies, it's right between the breasts. And that's your heart chakra. So that's where we express love and nurturing. Then bring your awareness further down the body. So underneath the rib cage, right at the, well, underneath the top of the rib cage, right at the solar plexus. So it's a few inches down from the heart chakra. And just allow that area to be warm, to be relaxed, to be soft. It's considered a power center in the body, a center for clarity. And then bring your awareness down right beneath the navel. So that's the sacral chakra. It is a center for creativity, also for pleasure. Just relax that part of the body. And then bring your awareness to the base of the spine, right there at the tailbone. That's your root chakra. So that's a point for grounding. Sometimes we think of those points on the front of the body, many times we do, but we can also think of them as points along the spine. So let's bring the awareness back up to the crown of the head. Imagine that area is warm and relaxed. Relax the forehead, release any lines in there. Let the eyes soften. Relax the jaw, the cheeks. Release the shoulders, those upper arms, forearms, and hands. Soften the chest and the belly. Release the buttocks, the hips, the thighs, the calves. And then scan the body from head to toe. See if there's any place that needs your attention, that you need to adjust. And then bring your awareness to your breath. So we're not going to change the rhythm of the breath or the depth of the breath. Just breathe normally. But we want to notice the sensation of air as it exits and leaves the body. Just right at the tip of the nostrils. And if you find your mind wandering, just bring it right back to the breath. And then on your next inhalation, I want you to imagine that you're inhaling as if you were inhaling through a straw, drawing energy from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, exhale from the crown of the head all the way down to the base of the spine. So we're hitting all those energy centers along the way. Inhaling from the base of the spine all the way to the crown of the head. Exhaling from the crown of the head all the way to the base of the spine. And just follow that breath on your own. Every inhalation, inhaling from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, and then exhaling from the crown of the head to the base of the spine. And then on your next inhalation, imagine as you inhale from the base of the spine to the crown of the head that there is a radiant golden light following the breath. So you're inhaling that beautiful radiant light from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. And then exhaling that same beautiful radiant light from the crown of the head all the way down to the base of the spine. If you find your mind wandering, just redirect it right back to the breath, right back to that beautiful light. Inhaling from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of the head, and exhaling from the crown of the head back down to the base of the spine. Allowing that light to shine from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, from the crown of the head to the base of the spine, and then finally emanating so much so that it extends to the arms all the way to the fingertips and to the legs all the way to the toes, so that your whole body is full of that beautiful radiant light. So much so that you yourself begin to emanate light. So enjoy a few more breaths here, allowing yourself to feel light, to feel energized, to feel peaceful. And then gently relax the light, relax the breathing from the spine, from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. You can release that. And then come into your normal level of awareness, gently releasing that visualization. And gently releasing your meditation. So if your eyes were closed, you can take your time, open them slowly. And we have a minute to journal here. Just journal what that experience was like for you. I put the timer on for a minute, and you can write about whatever you want. Okay, so that was a minute. So we're going to take a couple of minutes for a little bit of breath work. And the first exercise that we'll do is some box breathing. I love box breathing because it's so easy, it's so accessible. You can do it anytime, it's not hard to remember. So the way this is going to work, we're going to inhale to the count of 4, hold the breath at the top for 4, exhale to the count of 4, and then hold the breath at the bottom for 4. I'll talk you through the first couple, and then I'll put the timer on for a minute. Okay? So we're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold the breath, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and then hold the breath at the bottom, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath at the top, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And then hold the breath at the bottom, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to leave you on your own for about a minute and see how that feels for you. Okay, so that was a minute. Next, we're going to try alternate nostril breathing. So if you feel like you're a little stuffy in your nose and you have a tissue, you might want to clear your nostrils. I think my nose is feeling okay, so I'm not going to do that. But what you're going to do if you are right-handed or left-handed, you're taking your index and middle finger to that third eye area, the area in between your eyebrows. And you're going to use the thumb for one nostril, the ring finger for the other. And basically the move is to cover one nostril and then the other. So I will demo first and then I will let you guys do it on your own for about a minute, right? So I'm going to cover with my thumb and inhale. And then I'll close the other side. I'm going to exhale out that right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. And then switch. Exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. And then switch. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Switch. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. And switch. And that's basically it. So I'm going to put the timer on for a minute. And you can try that on your own. Okay, so the two fingers are in the middle. We're going to exhale through the right, inhale through the right. Switch, exhale through the left, inhale through the left. Switch, exhale through the right, inhale through the right. Switch, exhale through the left, inhale through the left. Then continue on your own. Go ahead and release that. Come back to your normal breath. That's so box breathing is thought of more as a way to calm the nervous system. Alternate nostril breathing also does the same thing, but it's also more balancing. And I feel like whenever I do that, I do feel the balance on the left and the right side. So yeah, sometimes I do these things with you guys and I get so calm, I don't even want to talk anymore. But I will continue. I will carry on. Okay, so the mindset lesson for this month, I was talking about going into the holiday season, and it's interesting over the past few days, I've been talking about people pleasing. I did a newsletter article on it earlier in the week, and it got a lot of traction. So I thought, oh, this people pleasing thing is it's resonating with people. Um, so this time of year, there's so much possibility for overwhelm and for people pleasing. I want to give you some tools to walk away with this month. But first, I wanted to get into what the definition of people pleasing actually is. So, a people pleaser is someone who learned, usually in childhood, that love and safety depend on keeping other people happy, even if it makes them miserable. So it can show up, if you had really dominating parents, or if you were in an abusive home, or maybe you had a lot of siblings and you had to compete for attention. So there's a lot of dynamics that can make that show up. And then when you're become an adult, it shows up in your life, usually as ignoring your own needs or your own truth, your own voice, to keep other people comfortable or to avoid conflict. So it can also be like just being hyper vigilant about other people's needs, or what you think they need. So it can become a lot of work that you really don't want to do. And then, it can turn into kind of frustration and guilt and self doubt and unhappiness because you're constantly doing things that you don't really want to be doing. So you can think of people pleasing as the opposite of authenticity, right? When we know when we're authentic, we speak our truth, we show up, we do the things that we want to do. We spend time, focusing on ourselves and our talents, learning to love ourselves, all that good stuff. So people pleasing is kind of the opposite of that, where you're constantly shrinking or shifting to make yourself fit in places while you're prioritizing the needs of other people. So it can leave you in a space where you feel like you don't really know yourself. You haven't really taken the chance or the opportunity to identify, express, fulfill your own talents and desires and motivations. Um, Now, sometimes people will say, like, well, that sounds selfish, right? So I wanted to get into like unpacking a little bit, like what's the difference between being selfish and self-care, right? Or being authentic. So one way you can look at it is selfishness drains relationships. Like we know about like the energy vampires who call us and complain. They're selfish. They're just using us as a sounding board, right? So when you think of this selfishness, it's kind of like, well, my needs matter than yours. You have to listen to me. Um, it could be somebody like finishing the cereal and not telling you. Forget about even buying a new box, not even mentioning it, right? That could be something selfish, or it could be, like if I schedule a meeting with someone and they don't even show up. Like everybody's busy, right? But it's like, well, could you have taken the time to cancel, or was it like not even worthy the of the I guess the respect, right, to say that you can't do something. So you can think of things like that as being selfish, and they can damage relationships. Now, when you think of self-care, self-care actually sustains relationships, because when you take care of yourself, then you can show up better and you're not all frustrated and mad, because you feel like you were forced into something that you didn't want to do. So selfishness is when it shows up like my needs matter more than yours. And then self-care is my needs matter just as much as yours do. So that can show up as like setting aside time for a good night's sleep, or for exercise, or for meditation, or for journaling, or for whatever it is that allows you to take care of you and prioritize yourself. Not to the point where, oh, I'm the only person on earth who matters, but that you are as important as anyone else. So I have a few tips I want to share, um, to kind of stop people pleasing if that's something that shows up for you, and prioritize yourself as we go into the holiday season, when people will tend to want to take your time and take your energy and ask for ask for a lot of stuff. So the first one to think about is pausing before you make a commitment. Take a breath, decide if you really want to do something, or if you're doing it out of guilt or obligation. The second thing that I would suggest is that to look at what your motivation is, right? Are you motivated by fear, like fear of disappointing someone, fear of being judged? Allow yourself peace. So peace is a form of self-love or self-respect. So if you are invited to a party and you don't want to go, you don't have to be mean about it. You can say no, thank you, right? If it's something that you don't want to do. I know when I first went vegan, this was kind of a thing, because I wouldn't eat turkey anymore. And I wasn't trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but at the same time, it was a decision that I made for myself. So, moving away from that fear of disappointing people or fear of being judged, because at the end of the day, people want to know the real you. They don't want to know the kind of fake, scared version of you. Um, an, Another tip, let me see, I got six of them. Number three is to be generous, but not go overboard, right? We don't want to overextend ourselves so much financially that we are resentful later. There are lots of ways to show that we care. Um, I always tell my daughter that just write me a poem, right? So sometimes we want to see that expression without it necessarily being a big gift or something expensive. Next up is setting boundaries, which is some of what we talked about already. Um, that sounds lovely, but I don't want to attend this year. And it could be that, or it could be something else, right? And then this one was interesting. The idea that, sometimes we have that the holidays have to be perfect, the perfect packaging, the perfect tree, the perfect event. And it's fine to pursue those things. But sometimes that perfection thing can really be such a stress. So if that's something that you want, just check in with yourself. Is it really for you, or is it a performance for someone else? And the final tip is, make sure that you set aside some time for stillness, whether it's 5 minutes of meditation, or um, 5 minutes of journaling, maybe 5 minutes of gratitude journaling, something that allows you to slow down. It could be breath work, like what we did together, so that you have the opportunity, just to calm your nervous system, because it's a time of year when a lot of things can be coming at you. All right. So we're going to go ahead and set our mindset goal for the month of November. And when we set goals, we want to set SMART goals. So SMART goals are specific, they're something that's measurable. You want it to be attainable, because otherwise you're just going to get frustrated. Um, it needs to be relevant to you, because if it's not relevant, then you're not going to care. And it's time bound. So we know that we have the timing because we know that it is for the month of November. So I'm going to put this in the chat for you. Okay. This will give you a couple of ideas and then I'll give you time to work on it. Okay. So when we set our intention, mine for November is abundance. Um, this is not my specific SMART goal for the month, but this is an example. So maybe if your intention is abundance, you might say, you know what? If you don't know, this part of abundance is being appreciative for what you already have. Because when you start appreciating what you have, then more things come to you. So you might say, I want abundance. My goal is to write down 3 things I'm grateful for every day for the month of November. Or maybe I'll write down one thing I'm grateful for every day. Or maybe I'll do a 1 minute meditation on gratitude every day. Whatever it is, you just want it to be doable. You don't want it to be so ridiculous that you don't do anything. Um, it doesn't have to be every day. It might be, I'll write down 3 things I'm grateful for 3 days a week, you know? So that's just an example. Another one, the example here is authenticity. Maybe the people pleasing thing really rings true with you and you really want to start speaking your truth more. So you might say, in November, I'm committing to speaking my truth with love because you don't want to turn into, just somebody cranky saying no all the time. So you want to speak your truth, but do it in a way that is still kind and loving while you are also kind and loving to yourself, right? Because you're expressing your own needs. So I'm going to give you, I think we could do like a couple of minutes here for you guys to work on a couple of 1 or 2 goals for the month ahead. So I'm going to start the timer for 2 minutes and have at it. Okay, so that was 2 minutes. Are you guys good or do you need another minute? I can't tell. I can't hear you. You guys look like you're talking. I'm just, it's going for another minute anyway. So I think we have the time. So I'll just let that go. All right. So that was 3 minutes. So let's keep going. I hope that you found that helpful.
Oh,
I find,
yes.
yeah, I find it
Yes.
so interesting, the conversation around just all of that, people pleasing, authenticity. My little son here is talking to me. Um, but so before we finish with the tapping, I want to talk a little bit about some stuff coming on. Come up. You coming? Oh my goodness. Okay, come on. Here we go. Come on. Okay. Whoop, there we go. Here's over here, Fussy. You want a co-host over here? He cracks me up. Okay. So uh what did I want to say? Okay, so I wanted to just give you a little bit of updates on things that are going on. So you've probably seen that I'm hosting a day retreat in Atlanta on November 15th. So that's coming up. The last day to register for that is Saturday. And then January, I'm teaching at a retreat in Costa Rica. It's January 17th to the 24th. And I think that the early bird pricing on that ends Saturday as well. Last week when I was in Ghana, I announced new dates for the Ghana Soul Healing Retreat in 2026. Some more information will be coming out about that. But if you are thinking that you might be interested, it's going to be November 2nd to the 10th of 2026. And that's it. So just make sure you're on my mailing list. People seem to really be enjoying the newsletter that goes out on Mondays. You get, I call it Mind Blowing Monday 1, 2, 3. You get one quote, two reflections, and 3 ways to lead with joy each week. So I've gotten some great feedback on that. Sometimes people will ask me, well, what do you consider a leader? First of all, I think women are always leaders, but anytime you have somebody looking up to you, whether it is in your family, in your community, or at the office, if you're working a more corporate job or you're working more entrepreneurial like me, um, I think that we are all leaders. People are looking to us. So if you're not getting that already, I hope that you register and you get that. And that's it. Let's get into some tapping. It's like my favorite thing. Of course, I have my co-host here, but he's not. He's fine. He can sit here. Maybe he'll get some good energy. Okay, so tapping works with pressure points in the body that we usually think of as acupressure points. So I will guide you through it, and it's really easy. It always makes me feel great. And let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start with the right hand, 4 fingers on the right hand. And you're going to tap this kind of karate chop point here on the left hand, below the pinky. So just tap, tap, tap. And then as you're here, I want you to start thinking about something that's bothering you. So it could be, if it's a financial problem, relationship problem, something at work, whatever that is, we're going to take 2 fingers on each hand, bring them to the inside of the brow. So there's like a bony spot right here. And I want you to think about the thing that's bothering you. So whatever that thing is, go ahead and think about it. Tap gently but firmly. And then we're going to take the 2 fingers to the outside of the eye, so this bony part here, and tap. 2 fingers under the eye, there's a bony spot here, tap that. And now I want you to release the thing that's bothering you and just repeat to yourself, I'm grounded and safe in my body. Grounded and safe in my body. Two fingers on the right hand under the nose. Grounded and safe in my body. Two fingers underneath the lower lip. Grounded and safe in my body. All 10 fingers to the chest. Grounded and safe in my body. Four fingers on the left hand are going to go underneath the right armpit. Tap, tap, tap. I'm grounded and safe in my body. All 10 fingers to the crown of the head. Oh gosh, I can't even reach the crown of my head. Get in there. Tap, tap, tap. The best I can do right now. I'm grounded and safe in my body. All right, and then release that. Just breathe for a moment. And then we're going to do the other side. So we're going to take four fingers on the left hand and tap on the bottom karate chop side of the right hand. Two fingers inside brow, tap, tap, tap. Outside of the eyes, tap. Underneath the eyes, tap. Grounded and safe in my body. Take two fingers under the nose, right on the bony part there. I'm grounded and safe in my body. Two fingers on the left hand underneath that chin. Grounded and safe in my body. All 10 fingers to the chest. Grounded and safe in my body. Four fingers of the right hand underneath that armpit. Grounded and safe in my body. All 10 fingers to the crown of the head. You should be farther back than where my hands are. My hair is just blocking everything. Grounded and safe in my body. And then release it. Whenever I do that, it makes me feel so good and tingly. I hope you guys feel it too. And then let's close out together. We'll take 3 breaths together and end the same way we started. So bring your palms to touch. Generate some warmth here. Take your right hand to your heart, left hand to your belly button. Inhale through the nose, let the belly fill. And exhale with a sigh. We'll do that again. Inhale through the nose. Let the belly fill. Exhale with a sigh. And the last one, inhale through your nose, let the belly fill. And exhale with a sigh. Let the left hand cover the right. Press into your chest a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. Bring your awareness back to whatever your intention is for the month ahead. Mine is abundance. I'm going to plant that on my heart. So press the palms into the chest and plant that intention on your heart. Take it with you into this next month. And thank you all for being here with me today. It was good seeing everyone. And I hope to see you again soon. All right, you guys. Bye-bye.